confidence in their driver retiring. Well, we're soon going to see Hill, Patrese and Berger come out, but a tough race.
Yes, indeed, for the driver.
There he is. That's a memorable shot. His first win, and a courtly bow from Damon Hill. Gerhard Berger, third position on the right of the rostrum. You notice the way he's carrying his left arm. You see the padding there underneath his overall sleeve. And Riccardo Patrese, the veteran Italian, as I say, his 251st Grand Prix. But a wonderful, wonderful day for Damon Hill, for the Williams team, for Renault, for all their suppliers and sponsors, for British Motorsport, who have supported Damon so well through the years, and all of them, Hill, Williams and everybody else, have seen a wonderful return. Yes, Damon, who's a quiet chap and doesn't normally show a lot of emotion, is clearly absolutely delighted, and understandably so. Gerhard Berger looking a bit tired and worn. It must have been a very, very tough race for him. And indeed for all of them, because I remind you about the heat. So, the national anthem, both for Damon Hill, having won for Britain, and for Williams, having won for Britain. The Williams team's 8th Grand Prix victory of the year, and Damon Hill's first, not only of the year. Some people have said he hasn't done all that well on his ascent to Grand Prix stardom. But whilst he didn't have all that many victories in Formula Ford, Formula 3 and Formula 3000, he undoubtedly had the talent. And what's more, he had the determination, because he was determined to follow his illustrious father into Grand Prix racing. He succeeded, and he's shown his quality time and time again already this year, leading Grand Prix after Grand Prix, deserving to win the 2 previous ones, but having to wait until here until he did so.
Stride, Alain Prost, Ayrton Senna, you know, he makes very, very few mistakes. And bearing in mind the pressure he's under to come into Grand Prix racing with undoubtedly the best team of the day.
Everyone on the Williams team, Renault, fantastic.
A very tough race.
Sorry?
A tough race.
Well, the only tough bit about it was containing my concentration for the last 30 laps when I didn't have really much to do.
Well done, fantastic for you, Damon Hill. Riccardo, how about second place?
Very happy for my team and for my mechanics. But I'm especially happy also for my old team. Robbie, Les, Paul and John, my old team, that I think they deserve this victory. Congratulations to them.
Thank you very much, very generous. Thank you very much. A quick Grußwort from Gerhard Berger to your fans.
Oh, I'm very happy that so many fans are here. And I give everything. Thank you fürs Teilnehmen.
Well, on a race when you can't say who you think is going to win.
I was thinking about you, Murray, believe me.
Now, have you caught up with it yet?
Slowly, yes. I mean, it's very, very difficult to suddenly switch on, because I tried to stop myself thinking about winning throughout the race, and so by the time you get to the end, you're still in that mode of thinking, well, you know, don't count your chickens, but you have to then suddenly reverse it all and start to make yourself believe that it's happened, but that's slowly happening.
Well, let's quickly run through the race. I could not believe my eyes when I saw Alain fail to get away and realise that he got a start from the back of the grid. When did you become aware of that?
Well, he was ahead of me on the dummy grid, so I could see that he had a problem. And I must admit, I was as amazed as anyone. And but it was easy to distract you, you know, because to think about that instead of thinking about what you needed to do. And coming onto the grid, I had to readjust my mental picture of what was happening, what would happen in the first corner, because obviously Alan wasn't there anymore, and so I had to think about Schumacher. But I made probably the best start I've ever made. You know, that I dropped the clutch almost the moment the green light went, and it was superb, and that helped me get a bit of a break.
You didn't say to yourself, "Whoa, Damon, we're in with a shout here," then, when he failed to get away?
It's easy to make to think that, but it's the wrong thing to think, because it's so easy to make a mistake on this circuit.
Now, I haven't had a chance to look at the lap times yet, but you put in an absolutely crippling burst at the front. Was that deliberate tactics?
Yes, because I knew that it was going to be a tyre stop race, and it would be much easier for me to control the race if I had at least sort of 4 seconds or 5 seconds breather, so that I didn't have to look in my mirrors and I could always look forward.
2 tyre stops, pre-planned, or you decided on the spur of the moment?
Well, originally I think we were planning to do one, but with the lead I had, I knew that it was better to err on the side of caution and take the extra set.
You don't have any reservations, and this is a correct in that situation, that if you come in, something might go wrong, so it's better to stay out.
Yes, but as I said, this circuit the projections were all that the tyres would suffer, and it's much easier to be on a better set of tyres at the end than it is to be on a used set of tyres. And if someone had been closing the gap, I would have found it very difficult to push on an old set of tyres. So I think on balance it was a good move. We didn't have to rush the pit stop, so you know.
Damon, what's significant to me is that you've had an absolutely immaculate weekend. You didn't spin on Friday, you didn't spin on Saturday, you didn't look to me as though you put a wheel wrong today, in a situation where Prost, Senna and nearly all the other top stars were going off.
Yeah. Well, I think Patrick would probably say that I'm not trying hard enough.
Damon, when you were doing your interview at the end, you dedicated your victory to the Hill family. Would you like to elaborate on that at all?
Well, naturally, I think it would be wrong to single anyone out, but obviously my father is a very important character and he would have loved to have been here, but, you know, my mother has been watching my progress and it must be hard for her. And, of course, Georgie has had to live with the ups and downs, and Oliver and Joshua don't really understand what's going on, but they think it's great.
Now, they always say that the first win is the hardest. You've had the first win.
Of course, my sisters as well.
They say the first win is always the hardest. You've broken the ice, metaphorically. Do you think you're going to feel more relaxed about further success in the future?
Yes, inevitably. You know, it's a watershed to win a Grand Prix, and I thought it was a possibility this weekend, and I think I did a good job this weekend, but I know that to win again you have to do it all over again, so it's hard work, and there's no way of getting around it. You just have to dedicate yourself to doing the same thing again in every race. We
all think you did a fantastic job, and am I off the leash now? Can I speak my mind in future?
You're free to say what you like, when you like, Murray, and I've given up with superstition. I've shaken people's hands in the car, you know, I've talked to people on the grid, I've done everything, so it just shows there's nothing in it.
Damon, from each and every one of us here in Britain, and I'm sure all over